Hey, I think we're live. Welcome, everybody. What do we got in the chat? Adele, Bander, James, Ryan, Chicken Fat. Look at all this different stuff. We've already got people in the chat. How's everyone doing today? Greetings. This is a different setup than usual, yes. This is a little bit different. I'm going to pause that so we don't lose our internet. I don't know how this will work better, but I had the table out. I had this out. So it just made sense to me. I didn't want to clean up that side of the room. Anyway, I thought I'd mix it up. Why not? It might be better over here. I don't know. We'll see what you guys prefer. M. Bill DRT says, love this channel. Sid Harth says, you're the next big channel. I can feel it. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, there's obviously big news that dropped yesterday. Let me wait till everyone, collects in the live chat before we start to go and start announcing all of the big things. Apple keynote announcements will go out Monday? Really? Did someone hear that? I didn't hear that anywhere. Is that when they're going to announce it as Monday? Because I have to start releasing a video about that as soon as it happens. What is through the door? My sister's room, but she's not there. Greetings from Hungary. Well, I know I was watching something. Yes, that's right. So what I wanted to ask you guys is everyone's joining into the chat room, and you guys can explain this to people who are not joining the live stream right away as they come in later. They're just getting the notifications now. They're just trying to find some free time in their day where they can open up the live stream. Marquez Brownlee commented on the last video, thanks to you guys, I think. I don't think it was necessarily just me, and I wasn't expecting that to happen, but MKBHD is a YouTuber I watch a lot of, but I also disagree a lot of. Almost everything he says, I typically think the opposite. And I always wish that in those videos I could say something to respond to him. But I think that gave off the impression that everyone assumed I hated him, or that I despise him, or I just absolutely want MKBHD. He's what's wrong with YouTube. That's not what I was trying to say. I was just trying to say I disagree with this one YouTuber, and I think it would be really, really interesting to have a collaboration video because we're such polar opposites. So that's kind of what inspired me to make that video I released yesterday, called the Dear Everything Apple Pro and MKBHD. Those are the two people I call out the most for doing things that I disagree with. But that does not imply that there is hatred of any kind. And it was exciting to see that someone actually watched that I was intending to. I did not think this channel was big enough, but I do think that you guys, the fans, this is kind of a big moment, not just for me, but for all of us. Because this channel, as we know, in the grand scheme of things, compared to bigger YouTubers like him, is much, much smaller. 38,000 subscribers is substantially lower than MKBHD, who's closing in on 5 million. So totally different story there. However, when I got that comment, I fangirled a little bit, even though he's not my favorite YouTuber, but I was still excited to see that you guys, by contacting and just by so many people being so committed to this channel, tweeted at him, emailed him, and commented him, hey, please watch this video, it's for you. And I still haven't heard from him yet. I've sent him out the email, but I found out on Twitter that he was at an Essential Phone announcement or getting one or something like that. I'm sure he's a very busy guy because he's always between work and stuff and between jobs. So I'm not expecting a reaction immediately. And I'll get into the Super Chats in a second, guys. Don't worry. I'm going to read all the Super Chats. But I just wanted to issue my statement, basically, on the Marquez noticement, is that I'm really excited that he saw it and commented it and said he was super interested in doing a collaboration. I have emailed him, but for the record still, has not responded yet. So it's entirely possible that maybe he has a manager run his YouTube account and maybe that wasn't him commenting or something like that. Or maybe he commented, sure, I'd be down to collab, but didn't really intend to collaborate anytime in the next week or 2 weeks. So it could be a long time before you actually see that collaboration video. But keep up to date on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Those are the best ways to follow me to find out, if he does respond, if we do get to schedule some type of video, I'm going to let you guys know about it. But obviously, yes, I'm very excited. I just wanted to say thank you to all of my fans who have been almost cyber spamming both of the people I talked about in yesterday's video. Both Everything Apple Pro and Marquez. You guys have been commenting on all their videos and tweeting at them like crazy, trying to say, hey, respond to this guy. And I don't want to be disrespectful, so all I have to say is thank you, but maybe ease off a little bit. We don't have to all spam them. Let's be as polite as possible. Keep in mind that if YouTubers don't want to collaborate, it's perfectly fine. There's no requirement for them to collaborate with tiny channels. They would get nothing out of it, really. It would be almost a favor of them for me, and I would get probably a lot of publicity out of it. So I have everything to gain, and they have nothing to gain. But either way, I'm just going to say thank you. Let's be respectful and polite. It's totally possible that MKBHD might not get back to us ever. That's totally a possibility. He might just have felt generous in the moment, but it's too much out of his way to try to collaborate in some sort of FaceTime call. But if you guys are interested, please super chat your questions. If there's anything in particular you'd like me to ask him, if this collaboration video does happen, let me know. Okay, let me get into the super chats first, and then we'll get into the rest of the chat. Thank you for joining, everyone. 300 people, wow. Daniel Balling says, you are awesome. I love every one of your videos. You changed me from an Apple skeptic to an Apple believer. Keep it up. Thank you. That's what I do. I feel like a clan member. This is creepy. All right. Anthony Insuini says, let the super chats begin. Looking forward to the Beats X reviews. Any initial impressions? Keep up the fantastic work. Thank you for your donations, first of all. The Beats X headphones have been a little bit underwhelming to me. For those of you who don't know, and I don't think many of you do, when I was unboxing them, it took a good 30 minutes for the W1 like auto pair option to show up, which is really annoying because the entire purpose of the W1 chip is that connecting it is easy, but it wasn't easy with the Beats X. And it really threw us off, me and my editor, because we were filming the unboxing of the Beats X headphones. They're over on my desk, and I thought it would just be a simple turn on the power button and then it shows up on the iPhone. It didn't do that. So I had to stop the cameras, I had to turn the mic off, I had to try to get it to work, and it took me a good 20 minutes of turning it on and off again, trying to charge it, figuring out what's wrong with it, and then it finally showed up, and it was the wrong color, as you saw in the video. It was black, and I was next to my iPad at the time, and when the Beats X showed up on my iPad Pro, they showed up as white. So there's some kind of, maybe it's part of the iOS 11 betas that are glitching it out, but that was first off annoying. And I've never had that problem with AirPods. I've used several pairs of AirPods, and every time I open the lid, they've always worked fine. The Beats X didn't connect right away, and also, as you saw in the video, when I first put them in, they didn't want to stay in my ears. They really didn't. They kept popping out again, so I changed out the little rubber seals on them and tried them again, and they sounded pretty good when I got the size just right, and I could get them to fit in my ear just perfectly. They sounded just as good as AirPods. I really didn't notice any difference. I compared them a lot, and there's going to be a video about it. Don't think I won't review them. I'm definitely going to do a video, but it probably won't be Beats X reviews. It's likely just going to be AirPods versus Beats X. But they have the advantage of the battery life and the built-in remote control, so there's definitely some perks to the Beats X. And I've heard a lot of people say that if AirPods don't fit their ears very well, typically the Beats X headphones will fit their ears better. So it might be a really capable alternative to AirPods if they don't fit you very well. Okay, Apple fan says, hi, I am a big fan. Congrats on the collaboration. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm excited for it to happen, but again, at this moment in time, Marquez has not gotten back to me. He said, email me, which I did. Haven't heard anything back. I've tweeted at him, said, hey, if you don't get my email, just DM me. Nothing's happened, but I'm sure he's a busy guy, so I'm not expecting a response immediately, but it's definitely coming up on a 24-hour period, and it's also possible he might never get back to us. Still consider that a possibility. I don't want to get everyone's hopes up super high, like this is a for sure thing happening. He just commented on one video, and we've never heard back from him since. Okay. I'm not even going to try to pronounce this next super chat donation, because I don't know what the 2 dots over the letters means, but thank you for your donation. Whoever you are says, what product do you plan to review soon? Well, it's kind of redundant, but the Beats X headphones that Anthony sent to me, I really appreciate that. If you guys want me to review any kind of product, sending it to my P.O. box is the best way to do that, especially if it's expensive. But I know there's a lot of questions about the Essential phone, And I really want to review it. It looks like a really great phone. I just don't have the money for it, unfortunately. People expect me to review the Edition and the new Apple Watch, and I'm saving up for the iMac Pro at the same time. I would like to review the Essential phone, but it's very, $700 is a lot for an Android phone that, my audience is probably predominantly Apple biased, so my Android phone reviews never do terribly well, unless I do some kind of clickbait sort of thing. But I still think the Essential phone looks great. I love that it's ceramic. I love that it's titanium build. And I'd really love to try one. Again, it's just a money problem. So maybe if the super chat's super generous or something, we could do it. Next super chat from Noob says, I like your videos and your content. Keep it up. But I have a few questions. What happened to Tailosive Productions? Do you plan to make any more videos to the channel? Okay, so Noob, thank you. There is currently no plans on expanding or making more content for Tailosive Productions. The current problem is that the idea with Productions is that we would make films that are like cinematically impressive, and we're not good at that at all. So there's no plans on expanding that at any time soon, but there are definitely top secret projects in the works that I'm not telling you about yet. Both Project Photon and Project Evergreen, which is happening much sooner. Project Evergreen could be revealed before September. So very, very soon, Evergreen's coming out. But not Photon. Photon might be another month or two before it's ready or before we announce it. But sadly, no, there are no updates on Tailosive Productions, though I do anticipate on doing a Hello World episode over on Tailosive Talks about the Tailosive Productions channel very soon, talking about the content that is over there, why it's still public, why we didn't just delete that channel in general. So we'll get to that later. And for those asking, like, what happened to Xander and the Tailosive network, I will tell you when I am ready for it. It's still a very recent event, and it's very hard to talk about because things did not end well between me and my close friend Xander. So when I think we're ready to talk about it, I will talk about it, but it's not ready yet. Okay, I think I'm caught up on the super chats. Great. The Appleseed Podcast says, hey man, I'm trying to start my own Appleseed Podcast channel. It's pretty crap, but it's for the Appleseed website you saw in the other stream. That's right. Someone started like an Appleseed blog page that I'm the unofficial creator of. I have nothing to do with that. But Jail Family says, do a collab with Everything Apple Pro and MKBHD. I really wish I could. And thanks to you guys, on his most recent video about the developer beta 7 update, the second highest liked comment was someone saying, please check out Tailosive Tech. And I responded on there. I was like, guys, let's be polite, because rightfully so, there were comments underneath that comment saying, like, what would be the point of a collaboration video? And a lot of fans were just like, I don't know, they're just two YouTubers I watch, and I'd like to see them in the same video together. I would love to see that happen. iJustine collab, I don't think that could happen. I didn't write a Dear iJustine video. iJustine has responded to me on Twitter, and not nicely. She said she didn't like the way I responded to her. I'm just not a fan of iJustine. I don't watch her stuff. She's not a bad YouTuber. I'm not saying I hate iJustine, and I don't think she hates me either. I just no really need for a collab. Her channel is mostly daily life and stuff, and this is more tech related. Ever thought doing about a Q&A? Isn't that what this is? Is it? Dude, get over the MKBHD and Everything Apple Pro thing. You don't have to explain yourself to everyone. The one who understands will understand. The one who doesn't won't understand at all. I understand that. No, I get that, probably collabing with MKBHD or Everything Apple Pro would bring a lot of haters to this channel. But the other reason I would like to do it is simply because it would be great publicity for me. It could expand this channel a lot, especially if there are a lot of unreached Apple sheep over on MKBHD, because I feel like he has a predominantly bias towards Google, not Apple. And I think there's a lot of great discussions to be had there, because a lot of people on my channel always say and think, why do people like the Google Pixel? Why is this doing well? Like, why is this selling? Or why don't people understand that the Apple Watch is the best wearable? And he's kind of very much a polar opposite. He does not wear an Apple Watch. He loves the Google Pixel. We're very polar opposite YouTubers, and I think collaborating together in a video where we debate, not argue, you know, we just debate our ideas with each other, could be really interesting for everyone, both his fans and my fans. Because I legitimately would like to understand why someone could enjoy the Google Pixel, because I don't. And I mean, I'm not questioning it because I want him to feel embarrassed or I want him to feel like he's an idiot because of my point of view. I literally just want... I think debates are great. I think debating on a topic is the best way to learn more about your side. Debating doesn't necessarily have to be about proving that your point is right. Sometimes it just helps you know more about your point of view. And I think that's just as productive. Okay. Chris Lee donated, says, excited about the launch event for the Note 8 tomorrow. I know you're an Apple sheep. Yeah, obviously. I'm not terribly excited for it, but the video tomorrow will definitely be about it. For me, it's gonna be, the live stream will start at 9 a.m. tomorrow. So the video tomorrow is not going to be posted that early in the morning, but as soon as the keynote is over, I'm going to film the recap of it and throw in my 2 cents, and then publish it as fast as I can after that keynote. So my editor, Nathan, if you're watching this, you won't be editing tomorrow's video. I think it could be cool. I think Samsung Galaxy cameras are always really, really impressive, and I'm excited that they're switching to a dual camera setup. Yeah, for those who don't know, for those Apple sheep people out there who don't know, there's a Galaxy Note 8 coming out tomorrow, and the leaks for it are so bad. It's not even leaks. It's like a full-fledged river at this point. We know almost every single specification. Samsung literally leaked, like, marketing photos of it that shows what it looks like. We know what it's going to look like. We pretty much know the specifications of the internals. I thought about maybe doing a recap video, but honestly, I would have to film it today and upload it tonight, and then it would only be relevant for about 12 hours. And this channel is very Apple sheep biased, and I don't think that... It's going to be a cool phone. I think it might be a really great Android phone. I just don't think the rest of the internet, or especially my audience, is not terribly excited about it. It's kind of gonna be a big checklist when we go look at the Galaxy Note 8 when it comes out. It's like, yep, we knew it would do that. Yep, we knew it would do that. I'd like to see some big surprises. You know, like when we heard that the next iPhone might have 4K at 60. I get really excited. Like, maybe the Note 8 can do that first. If so, that's really cool. I'm excited to see what kind of telephoto features the Note 8 has, or if they do what which phone was it? The LG does, that the second camera, or what was it? The OnePlus 5. I'm sorry, there's so many I get them mixed up. That the second dual camera has a higher megapixel because you're zooming in a lot more, and what kind of selective focus features we can crank out with the Note 8. The new display, it's going to be one of the largest displays ever on a smartphone. That has curved edges, but not quite as curved as the S8. It's just cool. It's unique and different. I'm excited to see it. Do you know when the September event will be happening? Date. No one actually knows because Apple hasn't announced it yet. Someone in the chat earlier said that they're going to, they said that they're going to announce when the date is on this upcoming Monday, so 6 days from now, which sounds believable. But, I'm predicting that it's usually on a Tuesday. And it's usually not at the beginning of the month. So I'm predicting it's either and it's also never really the end of the month. So I'm predicting it's either the 12th or the 19th of September, because those are both Tuesdays and they're kind of right in the middle. And I've already filmed the big iPhone 8 video that's going to come out before the Edition keynote. And I predicted in that video that it's either going to be 12th or 19th. But I could be totally wrong. Sometimes they might change it up to a Thursday or Wednesday. We'll see. Noob has another super chat who says, another question, do you make any content at Tailosive movie reviews because only your friend is making videos there? Just curious. Oh, well, yes, he is working on movie reviews over there, my friend Dan the Movie Man. If you haven't checked out his channel, please do. He could appreciate any constructive criticism. He's not quite as good an editor as I am yet, but he's getting there and he's learning. I would love to make more movie reviews. I haven't been able to because I'm so preoccupied with Tailosive Talks, Tailosive Tech in the main channel, and Project Photon, Project Evergreen. Very, very busy, but I would really love to get into movie reviews, and I actually have a couple of you fans out there helping me edit a lot of the content that I'm usually editing. And when that happens, don't feel like I'm just taking an extra day off. Like, oh, great, fans are editing my stuff. I can relax now. I usually have fans edit stuff so that I can work on something else. So I already have a couple fans that are trying out editing more content on Tailosive Talks. And I hope that if we can get into a routine cycle of working on Tailosive Talks and other people editing that, I can hopefully start editing my own movie reviews over there. I would love to make content over there along with Dan, alongside Dan. What is Evergreen? It's a top secret project, but it's going to be revealed very, very soon. Is there going to be a Series 3 Apple Watch? Yeah, we're pretty sure. I'm hoping it doesn't look that much different. And for those of you just joining in, MKBHD has not responded yet, though for those who don't know, he has commented on yesterday's video. He's the top pinned comment. He watched the video, which I didn't think he would, and it made me feel like really self-conscious about myself because for those of you who don't know, I trust my editor, Nathan, very, very much because he's a great editor and I love what he's done with my tech videos, to the point that I'm so busy now working on other stuff, I actually stopped watching some of the videos that he made, before I uploaded them. It would literally just be, like, what did I film yesterday? Oh yeah, the Dear MKBHD video, got it. That's probably good, and then I'll upload it. And sometimes I don't even watch it. So MKBHD actually watched my video before I did, and then my editor Nathan was like, "Can you watch it? Because I tried a few new editing tricks, and I'm curious to know if you think they're good or not." So I said, "Oh, got it. All right." So that's when I opened it and I started watching it. I was like, "Oh, I'm just this kid. I'm just this teenager in his attic, and he's got like a stained T-shirt, and he's yelling, and he's got a awkwardly green wall behind him." It's so like self-conscious when you find out that a multi-million subscriber YouTuber is now watching your video. It's like, oh, I'm amateur. Please don't judge too hard. So actually, to give you, this is really bad actually, because I've been so busy. I'm trying my best to stay connected with my audience, but obviously I don't think I do a great job at it. That's why I try to do live streams like this where I can read your guys' direct chat, and I try to stay active on Twitter as much as I can. But again, I am very busy with all these other projects. But I didn't know that MKBHD commented until my friends texted me about it. They were like, "Hey, don't know if you've seen this yet, but look." And they sent me a screenshot that he had commented. And when I saw the screenshot, I fangirled a little bit. You know, I just kind of went, "Oh," because you're kind of used to people like that, you know, that you're talking about in your videos being logos and brands. You know, MKBHD is just kind of this distant giant YouTuber. You don't really think of them as a person. But then when they actually are on your comments feed and they're commenting on what you said in your video, you're like, "Oh my God, my voice was heard in that studio that I've watched for so long." Like, I've been watching MKBHD for years. And to finally get that check mark next to the name and that comment on the video was surreal. But shortly afterward, I started calming down, and I was like, okay, now I gotta start working on how I'm going to like ask questions, what the collaboration video is gonna be. So I decided, like, Drew, you gotta keep your cool. You can't fangirl over this for very long. So I've cooled down about it. Now I'm just gonna be grateful for a response of any kind, because it feels like since he hasn't gotten back to me yet, it might not happen at all. So I'm just kind of preparing myself like, hey, this might not happen, okay? Just be prepared for that, and if he does respond, great surprise. Let's see. Yeah, Starstruck Tailosive. No kidding. What did you write exactly? Well, I don't have my phone on me because it's live streaming, but I basically wrote in the email that I was very grateful that he watched the video and commented on it, and I just said, thank you for being willing to collaborate. Would you be interested in like a Skype/FaceTime call, and you could record your side of the conversation with a camera and microphone, and I'll record my side of the conversation with a camera and microphone. Then you can share the footage to me via Google Drive, and I'll just edit them together. Or how do you prefer to do this? That was the basics of the email, because I didn't want to write a giant paragraph, because I knew that, you know, this guy's probably really busy and he doesn't want a whole email chain about like, oh my god, I'm so honored, I'm so excited, I can't believe you respond. Like, because I get that sometimes from fans who try to write messages that say like, oh my god, I can't believe you responded to me. It's like, first of all, guys, I have 38,000 subs, which is a lot, but still, it's a lot smaller than other channels. It's not that hard for me to notice, you know, Cut Sum's comment, odd skirt Kurt, collab with Tech Alter, Oceanic. See, you get noticed very easily. There's not a crazy amount of people watching this. So I didn't want to bother him with stuff like that. That's why I wrote in the email, like, I'm going to be very basic. I'm going to be very straight to the point. So I just said, thank you for commenting. Thanks for being willing. How do you want to collaborate? And that was it. I didn't go into, or we could do this, or we could do this, or we could do this, or you could fly me out there and we can meet up, or we could do this. I was just like, let's play it cool. Let's just ask him, how do you want to do this? I'm thinking a FaceTime call, maybe 30 minutes to an hour. If less, that's fine. Whatever works for you. I said, you know, let's entirely let you be in control of this thing, because obviously you're doing this as a favor. You're not going to gain anything by collaborating with me. Anyway, collab with Apple Watch World. Yes, I would like to. Yes, I see you in the chat. I've seen your questions on the Tailosive Gaming live stream. For those who don't know, if you feel like these live streams are too busy, we're over on Tailosive Gaming every Monday and Thursday live streaming as well. So please subscribe to that as well. We just passed 1,000. Thanks for getting us there. Hey Drew, it's Tricks. Okay. You're an awesome dude. Thank you. Charging. 30 pin or USB-C? Oh god. Stop. Well, what if he's watching this? He's not. He would have responded. P.O. Box. Oh, for those who don't know, if you want to send me products to review, I'll type my P.O. Box in the chat. So, and I'll also speak it out loud for you. P.O. Box 5430, Oroville, California, 95966. Send it to there, and I'll get it. Check it weekly. And you'll see it on Tailosive Unboxed as well, which is on the Tailosive Talks channel. Hey guys, please check out my channel. Oh god, there's more people self-promoting. It's fine. It's fine. Go check them out. Can you go into more detail about what exactly Project Evergreen is? So you're asking for a hint, basically. What could I give you a hint? Well, I hate saying this, but you could deduct what it is by the name. The clue is the name itself. The names for Project Photon and Evergreen are not random. Both of the names have something to do with the project. And I will say that Evergreen has nothing to do with any of the Tailosive channels. It's not a tech thing, it's not a talks thing, it's not a main channel thing, it's not a gaming thing. It's separate from all of that. Okay. Something to do with trees? Well, maybe. I'm not going to tell you. That would defeat the purpose of it being a secret. It's a secret project. Okay, I've been researching the best options to getting the 8. I'll pre-order at midnight, and if it's back-ordered, I'll resort to waiting in line prior to release night. Apple Store, Best Buy, or AT&T. I do not recommend waiting outside of Best Buy on launch day, because that's what I did for the iPhone 7 Plus. And I talked to the Apple Store employees last time I went to the Apple Store, because I was legitimately curious like you were, because I said, it's going to be a madhouse, because the edition is going to be in extremely limited quantities. There's rumored to only be 2 to 4 million available, which is nothing, by the way. And he said that when the pre-orders go live for the iPhone, and that's both the store and online, they go live at the same time. So when we watch the iPhone edition keynote, at the end of it they're going to say when pre-orders start. It'll likely be that Friday after that Tuesday, so the Friday after the 19th probably. And the pre-orders will start at midnight. And at midnight, when you pre-order it, you'll have the choice of saying in-store pickup or scheduled delivery. So they could ship it to you, or you could go to an Apple Store to pick it up. I'm going to try to do the Apple Store pickup because I believe that'll be faster. And I think that, you know, the Apple Store I go to is, I'm not going to say exactly which one it is. You guys could probably figure it out. But there's 2 that are within an hour of where I live. And if the one I like to go to is kind of secluded from a lot of big cities. You know, it's not in the Bay Area, it's not in Los Angeles, it's not Portland, you know, it's not a giant city, it's a pretty big city. So I feel like the people who can afford the edition and who are going to be buying one on launch date is probably not as high as concentrated as the other Apple stores. So I feel like and definitely not as high concentrated as it'll be to try to get it delivered to you. If I try to do an online delivery, I'm anticipating it's going to take 3 to 4 weeks to get to me. Regardless, it's gonna... Did someone say MKBHD in the chat? I don't want to believe that. That would make me... I don't see him. He would have a check mark near his name. I just want to be sure. I've been a little bit... I'll be a little bit paranoid right now. I've been refreshing my email and refreshing Twitter a lot all morning just because I feel like when he responds, I gotta act on it fast. But anyway, the people at the store said when you order online for an in-store pickup, you set a certain time in the day that you go to pick it up. So for me, like if you order it as soon as possible, it might say like your order will be ready at 9 to 9:30, that block. That way they don't have everyone showing up at the moment the Apple Store opens. So hopefully I'll be able to get it on launch date if I'm up at midnight and I'm refreshing the Apple Store page as fast as possible. But again, that could fail. You know, Verizon is very complicated when you're trying to go through there and they're like, what's your billing information? I'll try to get it unlocked, but no promises. Sometimes Verizon's complicated and they ask for like 8 different passwords at the same time. So that could still happen, and it's totally possible that I might not get the edition until a couple weeks after all the other YouTubers are getting it, because they get it early. You know, when they're big, they buy 5, you know, everything Apple Pro is going to buy 5 of them, and give away 2 of them, and then drop half of them and throw 2 of them in water. So they're going to be in high demand regardless. All I'm promising you is I'm going to try my best to get it. Okay. Super chat from State of Mind says, finally, I get to buy you a cup of coffee. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate that. I don't drink coffee, but thank you. You don't drink coffee? How do you not drink coffee? I just don't. USB-C or wireless? Obviously wireless. I use wireless. What are we talking about here? Headphones or charging? Both, then. Yeah, still wireless. Are you going to buy the Note 8 or Pixel 2? As I've stated, I will try my best to, but it likely would be only if we have enough Super Chat donations, if we have enough Patreon supporters. For those who don't know, I'm going to be doing monthly giveaways, but for the Patreon supporters, I wish I could give it away to, you know, more often to like all of my fans. But as for now, I'm just rewarding the people who donate on Patreon. And it doesn't matter how much you're donating, whether it's $1 or $50, you're eligible for the giveaway. And I'll be announcing the winner of the giveaway at the end of the month, August 31st. Is there a 31st? I feel stupid now. The Absolute Zero says, hope you didn't forget about me. Do you have an idea when the Apple event might be happening at all? Yes, I talked about that, but I didn't forget about you. You've donated a lot. Thank you very much. I'm predicting that it'll be on the 12th or the 19th, because typically they're on Tuesdays, and typically it's not the beginning or the end of the month. So those are the 2 middleest Tuesdays of the month, so that's what I'm predicting. And someone in the chat, I don't know how valid they are, but they said that the announcement of when the keynote will be happening will be announced on this upcoming Monday, so 6 days from now. But that was just one person. They had no proof. 7th last year? Okay, so like I said, I could be totally wrong. I just feel like the edition is being delayed a lot, so I'm not guessing that they're going to hold the event early, like on September 7th. I feel like they're pretty delayed. So if anything, they would do 12th or 19th. I could be wrong. Like I said, no one actually knows. There's no leaked information on when the event will be. You bet there's going to be a new iPod Touch in September? I don't. Where are you in MKBHD making a video or anything? Well, okay. So, he hasn't responded yet, for those just joining. There's no updates on the MKBHD situation. I have emailed him. He has not emailed me back. He could have emailed me right now. I haven't been checking. I'm live streaming with you guys. You guys are the focus right now. But if it were to happen, it would likely be a very short FaceTime or Skype call. And I would hope that he could film his end of it with his own microphone and camera and send me the footage, and I'll edit them together. But he might not be up for that. He might just want me to screen record my screen as we Skype. That could also be possible. And it might not happen at all. That's also totally possible. He might never get back to us. He hasn't been responding in the past 24 hours, so it's totally possible he might not respond. Noel Alpha-Roo in the super chat, thank you for your donation, says, thoughts on the Pixel 2. Sorry, I just laugh whenever I think about it. The XL, right? Because this one has the display that's a lot bigger, but still has somehow the largest chin and forehead of the year. It's exactly what I thought the Pixel 2 would be. Is a direct replica of every other smartphone this year. It's like, okay, what have we been doing since March when the LG G6 came out? Everyone's been playing catch up with the removing bezels thing. You know, LG always does their announces like way early, like in March for some reason. I don't know why. But they're like, ooh, look, minimal expanded display, minimal bezels, and then Galaxy did it with the SA, you know, minimal bezels, and now the iPhone Edition's gonna do minimal bezels. But each of these things kind of has their own unique trait. I like that the LG G6 is a lot smaller form factor with the glass back, so it supports wireless charging and waterproofing, and the dual camera on the back. And the Galaxy S8 is unique in lots of own ways. Samsung's been revolutionizing wireless charging. They've got their curved displays, they got the curved corners, very minimal bezels on the S8. Very sleek design and very good water resistance, USB-C, and they're able to still keep the headphone jack in there. So they've all got kind of their own unique traits. iPhone Edition obviously is going to have Face ID, and it's already unique because it has iOS. No one else has that. It supports AirPods. It's going to have that new OLED display. We're going to see how they handle that. It's the first time an iPhone has removed the physical home button. So I still think that this is going to be the most substantial upgrade of the year, but also the most expensive smartphone of the year. And then there's the Pixel. And then there's the Pixel 2 that's just like, we don't need two cameras. We know that the Galaxy Note's going to have them, but we don't care. Our camera's good enough as it is. We'll just make it a little bit bigger. And then they can't keep the headphone jack. Which, as I mentioned in Refried Friday, yeah, I don't think we should have the headphone jack. So, yes, Pixel 2 is moving in the right direction. It's just hilarious because they defended it last year and said, why, hey, we still have the headphone jack. We're cool. And then, obviously, don't 1 year later. So they can't stand by what they believe. Where I feel like Apple has had a much more consistent track record of standing by what they think is the best way to do something. I'd love to hear their answer now. It's like, so, last year, Pixel team, you thought that all phones should have headphone jacks. Why did you remove it? What's your reasoning now? And they'd be like, well, you know, it helps with the battery life and we can be more waterproof this way. And it's like, okay, so why didn't you do it last year? You could have. The Pixel still comes out after the iPhone. It just looks like a year-old iPhone every time it comes out. It's so delayed. Apple fan says iPhone 8 or Note 8? Obviously, the Pixel 2 XL is better than both. Come on. Sorry for all caps. Should Samsung make their own software instead of using Android? They could, but it would really be more of a curse for them because if they did make their own OS, I think it might be a better product because optimization could be better. But then they would lose the Play Store. And I think if they lost the Play Store, they would lose a lot of sales because they would lose a ton of apps from people. Like, there'd be no support if it didn't run Android. I feel like they don't have a choice. Like, I think they really want to do their own OS. That's why they tinker with Android so much. But if they full out removed it, it wouldn't work. Is Project Photon a TCU movie like The Avengers, like a big crossover? Okay, so there's no updates on the TCU, guys. There's no, like... Obviously, with Xander not a part of Tailosive anymore, it's very, very difficult for the TCU to ever continue. So it might not ever happen. But no, that's not what Photon is. On lunch, but stop to leave a like, Drew. Thank you, R. Stark. Appreciate that. Samsung has their own app store. It's just no one uses it. Exactly. That's my point. If they asked everyone to go through their app store, it would be more cataclysmic than the Windows store. You know, no one would use it. Oh, Anthony Ansuini got a new super chat. Says, can you tell us how using YouTube Red supports YouTubers more than not using Red? There are no ads, so I'm wondering how that works. Absolutely. I love talking about this because I think YouTube Red... It's very, very sad that it's not available in all territories. I understand that. And I really wish it was. It's really disappointing because the great thing about YouTube Red is that money does not go to YouTube entirely. Some of it does, but the money that you pay for in YouTube Red, the content you watch, the more content of that person you watch, that person gets more of your share of the donation, of the YouTube Red subscription. So if you watch a lot of Tailosive tech and you're subscribed to YouTube Red, it means that a larger proportion of your YouTube Red subscription goes directly to me. It's just literal money. It's not ad revenue. And the great thing about YouTube Red is when we had things like we did in January, February, March with the advertising crisis, you know, we had a ton of advertisers pull out from YouTube and say, we're not going to advertise on YouTube anymore. That's when, even if your views and watch time are going up, you're not going to make more money because the price of ad revenue on YouTube declines because people start backing out. YouTube has to keep their advertisers interested in still placing ads before the videos. However, when you subscribe to YouTube Red, they control the money the creators get. They don't have to rely on advertisers buying advertising. They just can count on those monthly subscriptions from YouTube Red, so all of that money goes directly to the creators. They don't have to rely on some advertiser to buy thousands of dollars worth of advertising. So that's why YouTube Red supports us more directly. There's a whole separate section. I wish I could show you, but I don't think I can. There's a whole separate section to the Creator Studio app that just says, here's the amount of money you make from YouTube Red subscribers. So you have, it's like a whole separate section of the Creator Studio. Here is your ad revenue, here is your YouTube Red subscriptions. And I think YouTube Red subscriptions, well, it's something like a third of my income. And it's not a third of the viewers. It's much less than a third of the viewers, but it still makes up for a third of the revenue. So what I'm saying is, if in some way possible, it's not right now because sadly YouTube Red's not available in all territories. I wish it was. But if it was available in all territories and every single one of my fans had it, I would be making probably 50% more than I'm making right now. Because there's no middleman. There's no relying on advertising to video. And also it's different because when you guys watch an ad, if you skip it in the first 5 seconds, I don't make as much money as if you watch the whole thing. If you watch the whole ad start to finish, I make more money. Whereas if it's YouTube Red, there's no advertising. I get a set amount of money every time you watch a video to begin with. So that's the difference. I'm not going to film a reaction to the Note 8 event, but I'll be live tweeting it. Okay, we got more super chats here. From Peter Beck says, do you think Apple will make a Google Glass competitor? Also, wouldn't it be awesome if they made a drone? And that also ties into the next super chat donation from Apple Sheep Tech, who says Apple should do a drone. And then the next super chat from Moby says, your streams cost me a lot of money. Please don't stream often. Well, you're not required to donate. Don't worry about it. When I hit live, money doesn't just leave your account. You don't have to donate, but I appreciate it. Thank you, Moby. I do think Apple's working on a Google Glass competitor. There's a ton of patents claiming that they're working on glasses that would project on top of reality. And Tim Cook thinks that augmented reality is a big part of our future. I think they're just waiting for technology to get a lot smaller and a lot more... because the problem with Google Glass and the HoloLens is they're not comfortable to wear. They're not consumer friendly. Those are just for businesses. And most businesses can't even find good use out of them, to be honest. So Apple's far more interested in making something that consumers could actually wear that would look slick and cool, but would also be really functional. And I think the technology we have presently is not quite ready for that. We don't have technology that's small enough, that's easy enough to use for it to be like a popular thing with augmented reality. But I do think it's in the works. It could be seen 2019, I think. I think it would be a bit too generous to say it'll be ready next year, but I think 2019 to 2020 we could see some Apple augmented reality glasses in the works. Okay, Dylan Candelaria says, hi, just wanted to say hi. Quick question. Will it be better to get Apple Watch Series 2 or Series 3 without LTE? Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to get Series 3 with LTE because if you haven't seen my video on why the LTE Apple Watch could be useful, you should check that out for my reasoning. So my phone is how I access the internet. There is no Wi-Fi at this house because I'm out in the foothills. We used to have Wi-Fi out here, but it is so slow, drops out so often, it would cost too much. It was not worth it. So I use Verizon Unlimited. There's no data There's no data cap. There's down throttling when you're in certain areas, but I'm so out in the middle of nowhere that I don't get down throttled. So I can upload my videos very fast. I can live stream like this. But that means that when I'm uploading my videos and I'm backing stuff up or uploading to Google Drive and stuff, I have to keep my phone in my room because that's where it has 5 bars. It's really fast in here. But then there's times where I need to run errands or I need to go into town. I'm uploading a video, but I need to go eat lunch or something. I want to meet up with some friends. In those instances, having an Apple Watch that can get texts and get notifications would be great. Because it would mean if there's an emergency, if there's a problem, if my girlfriend needs something, if my friends want to notify me about something, I could still get notified about it. That's my primary worry about leaving my phone at home when I go out into town. It isn't because I need to be on my phone 24/7. I always need to be touching it. I'm not that kind of guy. I don't always need to be on my phone. I'm just worried about there being a crisis and me not being there to hear about it. So that's why I'd be far more interested in... Okay, I'll get into the Super Chats in a second. Let me answer one question at a time. That's why I'd be far more interested in having a watch that can get texts or basic notifications. It doesn't even have to get phone calls, as long as I can get notified if there's an emergency. Then I would be more comfortable with leaving my phone at home. But like I said, not everyone needs that. That's a very rare scenario. A lot of people just have Wi-Fi anyway, and I said the LTE-supported thing would be a lot more useful if kids, like parents didn't want to give full-fledged smartphones to their kids, but they want to know where they are and they want to contact them. A watch would be a great way to do that. There's already some basic smartwatches out there that I've seen kids wear that can do that, where it only calls one number and it's just their parents. So that's definitely, there's usefulness in it, but it's not for everyone. As stated, the Apple Watch Series 3 will come in a regular mode that's not LTE supported. They're not going to force everyone to switch to LTE. So if you don't need it, just don't buy it. It's very simple. And I'm hoping that the Series 2, to ask your question, Dylan, is going to be cheaper. And in that case, there will be incentive to buy the older version of the Apple Watch. That won't be as fast, it maybe won't be as bright, but hopefully they'll lower the price to $250 or lower. And then maybe they could lower the Series 1 Apple Watch to even lower than that. I don't know. There's a lot of ways it could go. They could do something really dumb that I wouldn't like, which is to keep the Series 1 where it is, and then not sell the Series 2. And just switch to Series 3, be full price, and then there wouldn't be an upgrade in the cheaper Apple Watch department. I hope they don't do that. But anyway, there's a lot of questions. Let me get into them. So Apple Sheep Tech, I'll get into your Super Chat. Should Apple do a drone? I don't think they need to, because they partner so closely with DJI. There's even some rumors that they're going to buy them out. But I think that's such a niche thing. Apple hasn't really, they don't specify in cameras, but you can mess around with a lot of DJI accessories in Apple stores already. So it's kind of like them buying Beats. I don't think Apple needs to design over-ear headphones. They've got AirPods, and Beats has the rest of the lineup, more colors and stuff like that. But no, I don't think they need to make one. I'd be fine if they did, but I don't think they will. It'd be kind of like making fidget spinners. Sure, people would buy them, but they don't need to do that. Okay, I think I answered that. Okay, Evan says, what product do you want Apple to start developing other than AR? A car. I want not software. I want a legit Tesla competitor, because Tesla, I think, is ruling the industry right now in terms of smart electric autonomous vehicles. I think they've almost got a monopoly over that. There's companies like Faraday Future that they're like, we're the Tesla killer, but they're not selling their cars. They're not making them. They can just make a prototype, and they're not going anywhere with it. Where Tesla, is already releasing like super premium Model 3, autonomous self-driving electric cars that are becoming affordable now. Tesla's miles ahead of everyone, no pun intended. And I think that Apple is a company, that designs their hardware and software very thought through, and they have so much money. Apple is such a large company that they would have the resources to start building their own cars, start building their own batteries, start designing their cars themselves, and making them affordable to actually be a Tesla competitor. Okay. Next super chat from Nowell Alfaru says, while I use Android, I've been a big fan of it. I still think you bring up great points and enjoy your videos a ton. So what's your goal as a YouTuber? Thank you for your donation. A great question. My goal as a YouTuber is to make an entire network of YouTube channels, not just technology, that is family friendly to all so that everyone can enjoy it from all ages, and that I hope you can find entertainment as well as information in them. So I'm hoping that when you watch my tech videos, you laugh sometimes, but you also learn something. And I want to bring that kind of message of entertaining education to all of my different channels. Both the comedy sketch channel, Tailosive, Tailosive Talks, where I talk about social commentary and modern life, Tailosive Gaming, which is just kind of a fun place to hang out and game. It's just live streams for now. Tailosive Movie Reviews, and who knows where it could go. I have no plans on, like, when we should stop expanding. I'd like to be the most subscribed channel on YouTube. There you go. There's a goal. And once we get there, double that. Double the subscriber base once we get there. Okay. Good question, though. I like questions like that. I have no plans on stopping. I want to just keep making as much content as possible. And I'm hoping that, and it's already kind of happening, that learning more from all of you fans watching and supporting this channel, you guys are willing to help and willing to make my dreams come true. I've seen a lot of you fans approach me and offer to help, sometimes for not much in return, which I am extremely grateful for. And when you do that, I'm so grateful that you guys want to see this dream of mine come true. And there's some of that involved with Project Evergreen. Project Evergreen is definitely almost a fan-made project, which you'll be seeing very soon. In Apple Sheep Tech, you missed my first super chat. I apologize. I think I answered that about the drone. I don't think they need to make one. Okay, Tony Stacy. A lot of super chats today. Thank you, by the way. I gotta keep up. Huge fan of yours, Drew. Keep up the good work, and I hope the MKBHD collab works out. Thoughts on name for iPhone 8? I think it'll be iPhone Edition. I agree with you, Tony, and I talked more about this in the giant iPhone Edition video I'm working on. Instead of doing 1 to 2 videos a week about the iPhone 8, I've decided I'm just going to do a giant, like iOS is better than Android style video, if you guys remember that one. It was a very big one, and it's got like over 70,000 views now. It's a big deal, and I think that's how a lot of people found my channel, is that giant, controversial title. I want to do something like that for the iPhone Edition, and I talk about it in there. I do think it'll be Edition. Well, that's not true. I don't think it will be Edition. I just think it should be. That's the name that makes the most sense to me. But Apple never chooses names that make sense. They're terrible at naming things. So I'm anticipating that's not going to happen. However, the reason I go with Edition is it implies luxury. It justifies a higher end price, similar to the Apple Watch Edition. Functionally, it's not very different than the other Apple Watches. In fact, it's not different at all. It's literally just made of different materials, and I think that's what the Edition is. It's made of glass on the front and back with stainless steel edges. It's got an edge-to-edge display, which looks great. It's got Face ID and the better cameras and all that. All of those aren't necessarily more functional. They're just kind of convenient and more like premium, I would say. So that's why I think Edition makes more sense than Pro. A lot of people think it'll be iPhone Pro. But I think Pro implies that it's used for real work. That's why you call it the iPad Pro, is because you can use an Apple Pencil, use a smart keyboard, or MacBook Pro. It has a lot of processing power. You can get real work done. That's what I think Pro means. I don't think it would make sense to bring that on the iPhone because this is meant to be used by everyone. It's just the Edition makes it a tad more luxurious and more costly. So that's why I think it should be Edition. But obviously Apple's going to pick some weird name, but we'll get used to it, obviously. I think Everything Apple Pro deleted the comment asking him to check out Drew. That's fine. He's welcome to. He doesn't want to collab. Don't worry about it. It's no problem. Don't pressure people into collaborating. Then I don't want to collaborate with them. Please collab with Apple Watch World. By the way, I love your videos. Yes, I plan on it. I'm very busy more recently, so I haven't been able to direct message him yet. Twitter's the best way to do that, though. If you can tag me on there with your official Apple Watch World Twitter account, I would love to do that. If anything, I know he's been in a lot of live streams, but I just thought it would be a cool collaboration because we're kind of equally sized YouTube channels. He has, I think, 11,000 subscribers, so he's still growing up, but still pretty big, which I think is cool. I haven't seen him in the chat in a while. I saw him in here earlier, but I fully intend to. I'm not trying to ignore you, I promise. It's just I'm literally trying to make sure my fans get answers as well as you. The stainless steel should diffuse light like the iPhone 4 as opposed to being shiny. I would like it to look just like this. I love this design look of the edition. I like that the notch is not noticeable on this version. I hate the version of these dummy models that have the white bezels. That looks disgusting. You need to collab with Linus Tech Tips. Well, that would be a little bit different. I think MKBHD and I are polar opposite, and I think Linus Tech Tips and I are not even opposites. We're just kind of almost different genres of YouTube channel at all. I don't think that would go well. I don't watch him personally, so I'm not going to ask him to collaborate with me. I don't think he would want to anyway. Make the Note 8 event livestream a fundraiser to buy it and do the same for other phones. You know, Banner, that's not a terrible idea. I might do that. What's the difference between a regular live stream and a react stream fundraiser? Like, today I'm going to be reacting and hope that the super chat donations cover the price of the phone. I could try that, I guess. What do you think about the Xiaomi Mi Mix? Oh, I can't buy it, so I'm not terribly excited for it. But they sure know how to remove bezels. They're good at that, but I have no interest in their software. So, what is your favorite car or favorite car brand besides Tesla? Well, I drive a Hyundai, but that's definitely not my favorite car. I don't know. Cars that look cool. Lamborghini used to be my favorite car when I was little, but I want Teslas now. People are so gullible. Nobody has a real iPhone 8 rear case. Nobody. It's all Chinese fakes like every single release. No, you're right. We only think we know what the edition will look like, but basic black is pretty easy to guess. So I think this is the most believable edition clone, whereas the silver and gold ones are purely made by Chinese mock-ups based on rumors. They're not looking at photos of the iPhone edition of leaked ones. They're literally hearing someone came out of the factory and said there's going to be like a copper-esque looking color, and then the Chinese mock-up company that makes these made their theory of what a copper one would look like. So that's definitely not a for sure thing happening. I really don't think there's white bezels. I think Apple wouldn't do that. That shows off the notch way too well. And I almost feel like MKBHD intentionally bought the white one because it looks uglier, which I don't blame him for. Like, if you want to make the edition look kind of ugly, that's the one to get. But that's not what it's going to look like. At least I really hope so. If they make it look like that, God, I would hate it. Anyway, Felix Gasser says, why don't you collaborate with a tech sale company which lends you the devices? Other YouTubers are doing this when they don't have enough money. I do that sometimes. There's not very many large companies, though, that want to collaborate with me. Rightfully so. It's a very small channel. Only getting 10,000 to 15,000 views a video isn't really popular enough for big-name brands to contact you directly and ask you to and provide the product for you. But if you watch Tailosive Talks on that channel, the products I unbox are almost like 80% businesses. So businesses do send me things. It's just because the businesses are so small and they're sending me stuff, a lot of the time it's not very good. And that's why a lot of the time I don't bring those products that are sent to me on Tailosive Unbox onto the tech channel, is because a lot of the time they're not worth it. Because I try them out, I test them, and find out that this product is kind of crappy. And there's really no sense in me trying to review it. So there's... if I was bigger, I could probably get closer partnerships, but I'm not yet. There's fairly small companies that contact me and send me stuff, but a lot of the times it's not great products. I'm not saying any company in particular. I'm just saying a lot of the time it's not worth it. Have you used Duo? I used Duo when it first came out and found out that it was stupid. I didn't like it. Would you buy the iMac Pro? I really want to. I'm going to try to afford it if at all possible, but I'm not going to promise anything. It looks really great, and I think I would use it because I'm editing so much stuff now between Hello World, the Saturday Shorts, Project Photon, the vlog. I need to get back into vlogging, and the tech videos, sometimes I edit them myself. It's not always Nathan. Nathan edits a lot of them, but not always. But I'm running out of storage quickly on this thing, and I would like it to be faster, and I like the idea of a desktop that has all the power while I have a fairly capable MacBook on the go. So I can edit small things on here because it has a much smaller storage configuration. And also, you gotta admit, the keyboard and mouse, the space gray ones, Oh, brilliant. Really want that. Thoughts on Android Oreo in the Essential phone? I want an Essential phone. I just can't afford it. I'd like one, but let's see. Can someone do the math? I don't want to spend the next part of the live stream just. If we counted up all of the donations in this live stream, how much do you think we've made? We should set a goal sometime. We should set a goal. If like, maybe I could meet you halfway. If at some point in a live stream, this would be crazy because we've only done it once. But if we ever reached a $500 donation, again, not the Durka Durka one, he messaged me after that and said it was primarily an accident, and we got the he got his donation messed up. He still meant to donate a lot of money, but he didn't mean for it to be 500. But we recompensated it back and forth. But if someone donated like $500, then I'd review the Essential phone. I'd be like, okay, that's a huge donation. I'll cover the rest of the phone. We'll review it. If that happened, I would like to. What camera do you use? I use a Lumix FZ300. It's very cheap, affordable camera. The lenses don't come off. But it lets you do 1080 at 60, and it lets you shoot in 4K, which is what I need. Call 7 Durka Durka. No, I'm not going to call him. He's a very generous guy. I'm not going to beg someone to give me more money after they've given me so much. Durka Durka has donated far more than anyone has ever needed to on this channel. How much of the Super Chat does YouTube take? I don't know, but I know it's something. They do take something out of it. If it was like... 1%, it's something small, and it might change depending on how big the donation is. Like if it's $1, I don't know if they take anything. But what is next for phones after they get a 100% screen to body ratio? That's kind of my whole point about this year. As exciting as it is that we're getting all these bezels removed, it doesn't change the way you use your phone. Functionally, it adds nothing. It's entirely an aesthetic-based smartphone this year. All the smartphones coming out are based on how cool they look. So I think that is kind of the big problem that smartphone companies are going to run into. Like, when you remove all the bezels, what do you do after that? You can make things more waterproof. Super Chat doesn't work on iOS. It does. You just have to use Safari. Just don't use the YouTube mobile app. As soon as you remove all the bezels, where do you go from there? You can make things more waterproof. You can make cameras better and better and better. You can stuff more and more storage. You can make them faster and faster and faster. But that's the problem I think everyone's going to be running into. You could work on making them thinner, but I definitely feel like the real iPhone 8 that comes out in 2018, and the media is going to call it the iPhone 9 for now, but it's not going to be as exciting because it's just going to be two sizes of this. It's going to be it's going to be a slightly smaller version of this phone and a slightly larger version of this phone. That's all that's coming out next year. It'll be faster, it'll have better cameras and stuff like that, but for the most part, not drastically different. And then where do you go from there? What's the 2020 iPhone going to change? Removing the notch at the top? Will that be a big deal? The first thing we actually want Apple to remove. There you go. Yeah, I get you, Lucas. He says, I want a revolution for smartphones, something that would change everything. I get that. We don't know what that is. There's not a lot of things we can add that would change everything. Again, let me hear some of your ideas. What if iPhone is ceramic and titanium and with wireless charging, so it would be more justifying price? In the Note 8, it will be grilled. It might be. I heard that there was a rumor that the glass on the back of the iPhone edition was going to be a certain mold, a certain kind of mixture of glass and steel. It's kind of like it's not just basic Gorilla Glass. Like, they're going to make it extra durable of some kind. Yes, I'm going to get the iPhone edition. It's just a matter of when. An expandable screen. Again, would you really want that, though? And if they do figure that out, it would be kind of clunky. Because, honestly, there's Samsung, with OLED technology, we have the option to have foldable phones. The problem is it wouldn't be very useful. What is the advantage of having the phone flip out and having twice the screen size? Then it gets bendable. Then it's more like flip phones, and things are less sturdy. They're a bit more fragile. And if you make this thinner and thinner and thinner, eventually it becomes so thin that it's impractical. It can become too fragile and easily breakable. So you want kind of a structure in your smartphone. I don't think smartphones are just going to get infinitely thinner until they're as thin as a credit card. If they're that thin, then it doesn't make sense to keep making them that way. What if Apple is simplifying the iPhone lineup and it turns out the whole iPhone 7s rumors are fake and made by Apple and there will only be the edition? Again, totally possible. I can't disprove that. I can't prove that. Typically, though, weeks before the release, we have a pretty good idea of what's going to come out. We're usually pretty close. We're never going to get it 100% correct. There's still some things I'm sure all the predictions are going to be wrong about. I think one of them will be, yeah, we don't need spam like that. I apologize for the spam. Look, I add moderators trying to manage the chat, and then sometimes they ban people, and then they get mad when they get banned, and then people say, they're not banning people appropriately, and then it's like, okay, what do you want? People get mad no matter what I do. If I add more moderators, people get mad. If I don't have moderators, people get mad. So please just try to ignore it best you can. If you are a student and you buy a MacBook, you get a Beats headset with the purchase. Yes, you do. That's great. I saw, last time I was at an Apple store, I saw someone buy a pair of AirPods and a pair of Beats Solo headphones and a MacBook Air. Which is the weirdest combination I've ever seen. But I understand why they bought the Solo ones. Just sell them. If you get a free pair of Beats, just sell it for full price and get $300 off of your MacBook. It makes so much sense. Do you think Apple could make a console? I think they could now. I know they made one before, and that was a joke. But I think now they could, effectively. If they really beefed up the Apple TV, it could potentially be a really great console. Okay, we've been streaming for quite a while, guys, so I think it's time to wrap things up. I've got a lot of work to get into today. So if you have any last questions or comments, now is the time. We're going to be wrapping it up pretty quick. You saw AirPods in a store today for sale? Yeah, they're out there. I think you have a better chance getting them at stores. Now, if you guys want to be a moderator, it's a Patreon perk. I'm not gonna just add whoever asks to be a moderator. What do you think, holograms will come? I think holograms are going to be a catch to what you think they are. I think holograms are going to be a product of augmented reality. So you only see holograms when you're wearing the right type of glasses. I don't think we'll ever, anytime soon, figure out, actual light projecting holograms without glasses. I don't think we're near that. Someone asked if I could check to see if MKBHD had responded, and I think that'd be a great way to end the live stream. So let me grab my iPad real quick. I gotta check my email. Let us see. Be right back. Okay. 10.5-inch iPad, by the way, holding up real well. I saw some people asking about it, and I recommend the 10.5-inch. I think it's a lot more portable. I like it. Let me see if I can connect to my hotspot. Sometimes it doesn't want to connect. The betas keep flip-flopping features back and forth. It might not connect. Yeah, it's not wanting to connect, I think. I guess I can check it on here. Let me try one more time. Oh, there it goes. It connected. All right, let's see if he responded. If he did, I'll read it to you, but I don't think he has. Oh, someone texted me. Don't worry, that's not him. We're checking mail. And doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like there's been a response. So keep in mind, guys, it might not happen at all. Nothing yet. Check Twitter. Checked email. No, doesn't look like we've got a response yet. All right. Yes. Why do people keep asking if I'm going to get the iPhone edition? I feel like I've said that about 10 billion times. Oh, also, in other news, AirPods are down to 2 to 3 weeks shipping. Finally. I don't know if they figured out how to make them faster or if demand is lower. I don't know, but you can get AirPods a lot sooner now, which is cool. Oh, Evan has a super chat. We're wrapping it up here. Do you think Apple should have a feature where certain fingerprints can only access certain apps so that you can have more privacy? Well, maybe, but they're making the switch to Face ID soon anyway, so they might not expand too much on Touch ID. That sounds cool, though. That would be neat, but I don't hear that happening. anytime soon. iFudge donated, says, what did you have for dinner? Nothing yet. It's 11 a.m. where I am, so no dinner yet. Oh, for dinner last night, I took Louise, my girlfriend, out to dinner at the Black Bear Diner. It was very delicious. She had chicken waffles, and I had a American classic cheeseburger. It was really well delicious. That's what I had for dinner last night. Oh, another Dylan donation says, you should get the black HomePod to blend in. Okay, so we got one more vote for black HomePod. I still can't decide. I think they both look great, but I think when the HomePod comes out, and they announce when you'll be able to buy it, we'll do a Twitter poll. So on Twitter, if you're following me, we'll have a black HomePod vote or a white HomePod vote, and we'll see whichever one gets more votes, and that's the one I'll get. But Dylan's team black HomePod, which both look good. How much money did I make in this live stream? I don't know. It looks like a good one, though. You guys have been very generous today. I appreciate that. Very, very generous. Also, someone donated on Patreon as well, which means one more person is eligible for the monthly giveaway. Lots of people are saying black. Lots of people are saying white. I know. There's a ton of people going back and forth. That's why I want to do a Twitter poll. It would be very, very close, I think, but we would get a more definitive answer. Would you buy a Tesla phone? What does it run? Does it run Android? Probably not. All right, guys. Well, thank you for all of your donations today. I really appreciate it. I think I'm going to be wrapping it up. There's no edited tech video today. This is your tech video today, is the live stream. For those who don't know, that is typically how these live streams go. But there will be... Is anything else coming out today? It's Tuesday. I don't think anything else is coming out today on any other channels. There might be something on Tailosive movie reviews, but please feel free to check out the main channel, Tailosive, where I do all my comedy sketches. Subscribe to Tailosive Gaming now. We got 2 live streams a week, and me and Wyatt are going to be live streaming games all on the Apple TV, ironically. Check out Tailosive Talks for my show Hello World, where I talk about modern life and social commentary, and also do Tailosive Unbox, where I unbox all of the things you fans send me and what businesses send me, everything you send to my P.O. box, which I greatly appreciate. Thank you for sending me those things. So subscribe to all the channels, everything. It's a whole network. Enjoy all the content. There's stuff coming out every single day. Really appreciate it, guys. There's a new live stream on the gaming channel. Yeah, there's 2 a week, Monday, Thursday. You guys can watch them there. There's far less people, so you might not have to donate to get your comment read on Tailosive Gaming. At least, not yet. So, thank you guys for watching this one. This is your Apple Sheep here, and I will see you in the next one. Thanks, everyone. Take care.